From behind prison walls in Puerto Rico, accused killer Connor Vincent Damonte tells Global News he's now standing down from further legal challenges, and he's looking forward to returning to British Columbia for a fair trial. I left Canada 13 years ago, not to avoid trial and run from this allegation, but to escape certain threats, putting the lives of my young children and family in extreme danger, writes Damonte. Extradition to Canada now imminent after more than a decade on the run. The Canadian fugitive charged with first-degree murder in 2011 for the killing of rival gangster Red Scorpion Kevin Leclerc. Damonte also charged with one count of conspiracy to murder the Bacon brothers. Damonte, the leader of the UN gang, said RCMP. We still don't know how one of the most wanted men in the country slipped out of Canada under the watch of police in 2011. Damonte reinventing himself in a foreign land under the alias Johnny Williams. Over the last decade, I have lived a quiet, productive life, working hand in hand with politicians and community leaders. I am particularly proud of my work in law reform related to the protection of agriculture. Damonte dedicating his days to volunteering for a honeybee charity and now teaching English in prison. Damonte lived undetected for 11 years before he was ultimately arrested by Puerto Rican police in Isla Verde in February 2022 with a handgun in his possession, according to U.S. court documents. For 2 years, Damonte fought extradition to Canada, his public defender in Puerto Rico arguing there was a lack of evidence. In addition, 3 former gang members turned Canadian Crown witnesses had serious credibility issues. The total sum Witness 2 is expected to have received is a jaw-dropping $400,000. That's 400,000 reasons to follow whatever cues were laid out for him by the police. A U.S. judge ultimately ruled despite Damonte's absolute rejection of the Canadian charges, he did not introduce any evidence to support his legal challenges. With the extradition clock now ticking, Damonte writes, I would like to make an apology to all of the volunteers and supporters for the public fallout. He says his time in Puerto Rico has been life-altering. I deeply and humbly appreciate the patience of friends who were previously unaware of the allegations I face in Canada and who continue to withhold final judgment of my character as this matter unfolds. Damonte is expected to be returned to Canada in the next 30 days, but a hard date for extradition has not been set according to his Canadian lawyers. The BC Prosecution Service says a trial date has also not been set. Damonte remains in custody in Puerto Rico. Ramina Dea, Global News.